Yes, my people, welcome to Mwana Sporty Family Football Podcast. Today, I want us to talk about Manchester United versus Chelsea at Old Trafford yesterday night. It's a game that has left sour taste in my mouth, has all the feel good factor left Chelsea, yet, because we lost to Bayern and over the week and over the weekend, we lost to one of the most poorest clubs in the Premier League right now. So Sanchez's red card was costly, but for me, what really changed the game was the overreaction from Maresca. His baffling subs stifled what hope he had left. Because if you ask me, uh, this is a game that we came to this game without the plans of conceding a red card. But we knew the game was going to be tough because we hadn't won in Old Trafford since 2013. And wherever we visit Old Trafford, there is always something that is coming up. And yesterday, the red card came up. So in our previous meeting, uh, things have been there before, and even we are anticipating that something will always come up, even in the future. Maybe we going there with our little well managed squad or an injury prone squad, something. And yesterday, the thing that was outstanding yesterday was the red card itself. So after the red card, so many things happened. Uh, First of all, this game, when we came to this game, Palma had a knock earlier on in the morning of yesterday. He had a knock, and the coaches and the medical team was very much aware. However, Palma himself asked to play this game because it was important for him and the club that he plays this game. So many players have played with injuries before, and he is not exception. He was just hoping that he can do it because it has been done before. Having that in mind, in the fourth minute when we got a red card, Robert Sanchez, that was very poor of you because in the fourth minute you don't make such kind of a tackle. It, it was fair enough you were protecting your goal, which is very much recommended. However, this is something that you should not do because we are in the fourth minute of the game. This means that we still have more than 90 minutes to play. 90 minutes to play with, it's better we play 90 minutes with a goal down uh, rather than going 90 minutes a man less. That was so shocking decision that you made. So on this red card, Maresca took off Estevao for Jorgensen, which was a very shocking move. I'd go for Palmer because Palmer was already at risk playing this game with a groin injury. And under the same sub, he took off Neto. Now, Maraska taking off his two wingers in a reaction to the red card was puzzling, especially because Chelsea are not defensive unit. Arsenal are the only team in the league that can defend deep without an outlet for 90 minutes. So Chelsea was not going to defend anyway. Even if you put five defenders, we've seen they've conceded goals every now and then. Whether you're defending with five, whether you're defending with four, or you're defending with three, Chelsea are gonna concede anyway. So we needed bodies up. I was not going to take Estevao out. I was not going to take Pedro Neto out. I was going to take Cole Palmer out. And I was going to only to do that one sub. Take Cole Palmer out, bring in Jorgensen, and let the players settle. Let the football settle. After it's settled, you know what happens where and why. Now, when you come to your tactics, you can see that there's a gap somewhere. But taking out Cole Palmer was going to mean that Estevao was going to step into the midfield to cover for Palmer. Then we abolish one wing and we use another wing for, because Pedro Neto is more of, is quick. He was going to help you in both defense and in attack. You could leave Pedro Neto in the game. However, so quick forward, Manchester United gets their first goal. through Bruno Fernandes. And you can clearly see the goal stood. So the goal stood. The goal stood. They PGM Oil are saying the goal stood because Bruno Fernandes was kept on by Trevor Chaloba's foot. Mark you, this is a goal that has got so many angles. If you watch another angle, the rules clearly says when a player is in an offside position, the rule says when a player is in an offside position and he interferes with the play, he interferes with the play, which Sesko did. Sesko was in an offside position. Fair enough, Bruno Fernandes is not in an offside position because Trevor Chaloba's leg is putting him onside. But what about Sesko, who is in front of Chaloba? If you ask me, Chaloba is not even marking Bruno Fernandes. Chaloba is marking Sesko. That's why he is trying to keep his 1 foot forward. Because he knows, I have to draw the line, but I have to mark this man also. Either of these two, something has to be done. He is not even aware Bruno Fernandes is behind him. The only person who's supposed to be marking Bruno Fernandes is Tosin Adebayor. Tosin is the one who's supposed to be marking Bruno Fernandes. So Chaloba is giving 100% concentration to Sesko. Why? Because Sesko is interfering with the play. And Sesko is in an offside position. But when the PGMOL goes to the VR, they don't bring out Sesko. They bring out Bruno Fernandes and Chaloba, knowing clearly that this guy is in an onside position. But why the fuck are they not bringing in Sesko in this picture? Because Sesko is in the picture. Sesko is clearly offside. How many times are these people going to be incompetent? This is incompetency. You cost us the game. This one goal changed everything. You don't crop a picture and bring 2 players that were clearly onside to show us that the goal should stand. Well, there were 3 of them there. Why the fuck is Sesko not in the picture? We need Sesko in that picture, and you should tell us if he's not interfering with the play. He is interfering with the play, and the goal should not stand because Sesko is interfering with the play, and he is making Chaloba to put 1 foot forward. No Sesko there is no foot forward for Chaloba, and Bruno is caught up offside. This is not just one moment. There are so many moments that in this game that they try to kill us. So many moments in this game they try to kill us. First of all, now let's move forward. This goal, for me, this goal doesn't stand anywhere. It doesn't stand. In fact, this goal, the Cole Palmer's goal on the UEFA Champions League was more of an onside. If you compare these two, that Palmer's goal was more of an onside, but it was ruled out. It is every fucking day that PGMOL will stop fucking with English Premier League matches. Why the fuck do you keep on fucking with these Premier League matches? What is so important that you could not let players play their match? What is so important that you could not let results show out for themselves? You keep on with your controversies after controversies. We don't need your apologies. We don't need anything from you. Just let the players play. It's enough. Well enough. If you look at our defense, the shape was so bad. This is why I'm saying Maresca should not have brought out Estevao and Pedro Neto, because after that, the shape that we didn't bring on Garnacho, look at Pedro behind the striker, no wingers, means you needed 3 midfielders to cover the space. So I will show you a picture. Picture number 1. So this is Joao Pedro playing behind George, and Santos and Enzo are playing deep in the midfield, and then Casemiro is standing as a DM. So we have James and Gusto who falls as fullbacks. You see now, if James and Gusto are falling as a fullbacks, no, Cucurella was also taken off. So if Gusto is falling as a fullback, then that means that that wing is not effective enough, because Gusto cannot run and cross. Gusto will only run and make some short passes. Now, James was our most important player yesterday. He was running up all the field. And this is what I want to bring on. Never play James in the midfield. I hope this one gets to, I don't know how it should get to Maresca, but never play James in the midfield. He is one of the best right backs the world has ever seen. Anytime he's fit, injuries are part of the game. If James is fit, stop the injury. Put him in the right back. He performed yesterday. He's been performing there. He is one of the best people that plays at the right back in this world. If you deny him that opportunity, you're denying us, the fans, the joy. We watch football for joy. So if had we put Garnacho on, then we could have had Gusto, Garnacho playing in front of Gusto. And then on one wing, what I was saying, we killed one wing. We're supposed to kill one wing. You put James, who will run the right back alone. Don't put anybody who will help him there. James can run that right back alone. And we have Caicedo and Santos playing as a DM. So on this one means that Chaloba and Tosin will be 4-5, and then Gusto will be playing on a 3, James will be playing on 4, Garnacho will be playing on the left wing, and George up front, Pedro behind George. And this is a squad that was going to at least win you the game. Okay, fast forward. We get into an attacking position. The Manchester United second goal, before it came, our slight moment, Joao Pedro is going with the ball. Inside the box, Mazrui puts the leg. Mazrui does not touch the ball. But Joao Pedro goes down. Why? There was a contact. He goes down. Mazrui puts a leg, he goes down, the light wins the ball, and the light plays to Mazrui, and now they are coming, they are attacking at Chelsea. This is what resulted to their second goal. There was a contact. Now everybody is silent. Everybody is silent about this one, but no, it should be talked about. There's nothing like, why are people silent about this? Is this just because of the Fulham game? Because same penalty, there was a contact. I'm going to show that clip. Looking at it, Mazrui does not touch the ball. He doesn't touch the ball. Joao Pedro has the ball, 100%. He's off Mazrui, but there is the light in front of him. So, Mazrui takes the ball, Mazrui does not touch the ball, the light wins the ball, and Mazrui wins contact with Joao Pedro. This is a penalty, direct. Nothing else. I've watched the clip more than 20 times. I don't see the defender touching the ball. But I still see this a clear penalty. This is an absolute shit. So, in their second goal, something happens. And I want to explain something briefly. For those of you who are asking for, you see, we dropped Nicholas Jackson because of some costly things, and then he started picking up red cards here and there, which was not fair. If you ask me, that wasn't fair. Had we had James yesterday, had we had Nicholas Jackson yesterday, we could be full of options. You understand? We needed someone who could run down the wings without getting tired. Someone who could put effort up and there. So Sanchez also picked a red card yesterday. It was a foolish red card, if you ask me. And taking him off because of a red card, and then bringing in Jorgensen. So should not be a claim that Sanchez should be dropped for Jorgensen. In fact, Sanchez is our best goalkeeper. I am saying this with a straight eye. Sanchez is one of the best goalkeepers we have right now. Out of the goalkeepers we have right now, Sanchez is one of the best. If we are not going to improve that, let him be. We are not going to allow Jorgensen to be our first goalkeeper. No way. If we didn't go for Donna, if we didn't go for McGinn, let Sanchez be our first goalkeeper. Because our second goal was hugely on Jorgensen. Our second goal was hugely on Jorgensen. And I will show you that clip. Because when Manchester United attacked the ball, they attacked and they lost possession out of set piece. They lost possession. Then James quickly comes. James comes from, James comes from midfield, and he tries to clear the ball, and the ball goes up in the air, 10 fucking days up in the air. Jorgensen didn't even try to put a leg forward. You put your foot forward. You are the goalkeeper. You are the only person allowed to go for the ball with your hands in the box. No one else. But what does Jorgensen does? He stays behind. He stays behind. He waits for the ball. And then on the 9th day afternoon, he comes outside. Now he wants to pick the ball. We lost possession. Fofana is there. Fofana is going up with his head. Jorgensen has to go up with his hand and punch the ball maybe. But he stays in his line. And then on the last minute, he's trying to come outside. Where are you going, Jorgensen? Stay in your line. You already stayed in the line. You fucked up the situation. You can do nothing else. Manchester United, they get their second goal. I'm telling you, absolutely. Robert Sanchez comes out of the line, punches the ball away, and that one, we avoid that goal. This is how you make keepers. This is how you make goalkeepers. You don't stay in your line. You command your defense. You command that box. It is your box. If anything, that ball can lead to a goal, either an own goal or a goal like Manchester United scored. There are so many things that we let slide, but some we cannot let slide. A goalkeeping mistake costed our second goal. Yes, fair enough. We tried. We pulled one back through James Brilliance, and Chaloba was there to connect the set piece, which was fair. We played it up, and this is a match that we have learned so many things, and it is only fair if we call them out. Right now, as it stands, we should not fully blend on or depend on Enzo Fernandez. We already have Santos. We can do the swiping here and there. Every now and again, I need to see Santos moving, because he is one of the positive we had yesterday. Having seen no Enzo Fernandez for 90 minutes, at least we could see Santos somewhere. Chaloba, I'm done with that guy. Bro, I am one of the people who was advocating for his stay at Chelsea when we wanted to release him to maybe Crystal Palace or somewhere else. In fact, when we took him to Crystal Palace, I was really wondering why we are doing that. But it is only a fool who does not change his mind. Today I am here saying that I am done with Chaloba and I don't want any partnership of him in the defense with anyone else. Because in the first goal that we conceded yesterday, if Chaloba could have won that aerial duel, we were not going to put Sanchez in such much risk. Because, Sanchez, however, that was a risk, but he only had 0 point something seconds to make the decision. It's either you let the goal in or you try and do something else. And he really did try to do something else. Had he touched the ball, then he couldn't have been given a red card. So Chaloba has been costing us in a defense partnership. So I think now that Fofana is back, we should just work on his management and try to pair Tosin and Fofana until Colwell comes back. Because you see, this is so, it's so tormenting that every now and again we concede goals through our defense mistakes. But I have seen Tosin pair with Fofana or Colwell, and there are no such mistakes. I have seen Colwell and I have seen Fofana pair with Tosin, and there were no big mistakes. But Chaloba paired with anyone, I think it is now time for Chaloba to go on the bench. Maybe try and level up, and if he cannot level up, he should just go and sit next to Axel Disasi, because we do not accept mediocrity in this club. it is time that we should drop things as they are. Again, something I learned yesterday is, why are we still trying to play George? George is one player that we were trying to sell during the windows. We were trying to sell George during the windows, and we tried so hard to get some players. One of them was Garnacho. We spent a whole fucking 3 weeks trying to sign Garnacho, who we don't even want to play right now. Why do you not play Gio when you called him back on his way to Sunderland? He could be playing games for Sunderland today, but because you called him back, and unlike Jackson, he honored the call and came back. Now you're putting him on the bench. Maresca, you need to think about such things. And for Manchester United fans, it's not that you played or you outplayed us. So many circumstances. In fact, Enzo Maresca coached a win for Amorim more than Amorim did for himself. If I were you guys, I would still demand much from a club, because this win, it is a 3 point yes, but it shows how average you still guys are. That was our worst football ever since Enzo Maresca took over. I think it is even more worse than what we saw Potter, Pochettino, and other guys combined to do. So you winning that one with a margin of 1-1, in fact it was 2-2 at some point, and a goal was cancelled, shows a lot about you. And the calls are so easy nowadays that you should avoid some tackles, because someone like Casemiro, that was a foolish of him. You are leading 2-0 to a 10 man and you try to pull someone. What the fuck is going on in your head? Like, what are you doing? It is nonsense, if you ask me. So this will have been motivating game to play for Garnacho in his career. Maresca warms him up and gives him tactical instruction, and then brings on George, who isn't good enough. And we are trying to sell 20 days ago. You see, this is something I was talking about. So somebody here is saying, Charlie Patrick is saying, Maresca really wanted McGui back. Didn't he almost uh, spend £100 on Gittens and Garnacho? And George, who they were trying about to sell, got more minutes. Make it make sense. That really doesn't make sense. Maresca is definitely a coward. This is someone saying, Ta. But remember that he asked for a new goalkeeper, a centre back, and asked Nicolas Jackson to stay. The board and the directors couldn't fulfill one of his wishes after he achieved his objective last year. Chelsea Football Club is finished. So, on Jackson, I really think he would have been very important, especially in games like yesterday. We all have seen Joao Pedro is not a speed ball carrier. He does carry a ball. He's dangerous in the box. He's dangerous outside the box. He's dangerous in the air. But Jackson was giving everything. You see, Jackson was trying to make every chance count, even though he was losing almost all of them. But his play was so ridiculous that he would bring something out of nothing. The runs he used to make, give space, he used to make defenders. That is what you need in a striker. But anyway, now that we lost him, we will need to have to wait until January, and let's see is this one. So that's it until we meet